Well, hello my friends on YouTube. Today we're gonna have a look at this little guy, the CRKT Ruger Go-n-heavy Compact. This was a knife that I never really noticed. The only reason I have it and noticed it in the end is that I got it as a gift from my friend Stas23. I'll put a link in the description for his channel, and he was kind enough to send me this and two other knives as a present or a help for my channel, and that's how I got in touch with this one, and I'm very grateful because actually this is a way better knife than I thought initially. Otherwise it's a sort of a nice drop point with a little bit of a switch here and some flat surfaces. The handle is made of aluminum or aluminium, where you come from, and as you can see, it is very heavily skeletonized and very heavily milled. It has a very deep milling patterns, as well as the holes, which makes it quite light actually as a knife, but also gives it, in my opinion, a very high speed, low drag tactical look. Other side, as you notice, no pocket clip, and it's not because I took it off. That simply isn't a pocket clip on this knife, and we can see that we have the pivot screw here, and in fact all the screws are the same size Torx, which is Torx 8. Doesn't help very much because this is like welded shut. I simply cannot get this open, so I can't tell you what kind of if it's washers or bearings it's in the pivot. The action tells me that it might be washers, but in that case very smooth washers, and as we'll talk about when we get to the action. This knife has a big brother, and I mean a truly big brother. I'll find a picture and make a comparison for you. It's a knife at I think about 8 inches and 10 ounces, something like that. I'm not that good at the imperial measurements, but I think it's something like that. Really a big knife. This is a mid-size knife, and if I should make a size comparison, just take the red one, which is a big knife, and as I said, this is sort of a mid-size knife, the CRKT, the Go-n-heavy. Anything else behind? Maybe a Spyderco Tenacious. Not the biggest of knives, but then again the red one and the Tenacious are rather big, both of them, but that gives you an idea of size. And as I said, the big brother is extremely big. I will try to put a picture in if I can find one. Going back to the blade, it is extremely sharp. I simply cut my thumb just by doing like this. The serrations are very sharp and very good. Going to the action, it was tight at the beginning, but it smoothened out very nicely, which tells me that Stasa probably didn't use it that much. But now it just flies open, and it is almost drop shotty, and as I said, I think this is a washer knife. It is extremely nice in the action. If I just release the lock, it just drops by itself, by its own weight. So the only thing holding it back is actually the lock bar pressure. Very nice knife indeed. Ergonomically, well, this handle doesn't look very comfortable, but in fact it is rather okay. It get the millings and the perforations gives a good grip actually, and it lies very nice in hand. This knife is not going anywhere if you are so inclined as to stab someone. Something, sorry. Equally in the reverse grip. Don't know if you're gonna use draw cut very much, but you can do it. And actually you have a little bit of space here, so you can choke up on it as well. And very comfortable all around. I have to tell you, overall, I'm quite impressed with this knife. The hollow grind makes it a good slicer, and it is a very hollow grind. I don't know if I can show you. It is, I would say, surprisingly good for me. I wasn't really aware of this knife at all, as I mentioned in the beginning, but it surprised me positively. And I just, for your sake, I just looked a little bit around for price. This one has been as expensive as €129. I think it is a little cheaper these days, but we're still talking about maybe $80 I've seen it for somewhere. I haven't checked it very well, but it's not the cheapest knife, and it actually functions and feels very well. I'm quite surprised. I think it's one of my best CRKTs actually, and it has smoothed out very, very nicely. So all in all, whether you like serrations, you can get serrations. If you don't, you can drop them. And no matter what, a very, very good knife that I can easily recommend. Solid all around. Perfect, almost perfectly centered, and as I said, no sharp edges, and the lack of a pocket clip. Pocket clips are often hotspots, but the lack of a pocket clip makes it a very good in hand. So no hotspots, everything is nicely rounded off, and I haven't really observed any hotspots or anything. So I'm very positively impressed by this knife, and I once again have to say thank you, Stasa. So very nice of you to send me this one. Your support means a lot. Thank you. And with this, have a nice day, evening, whatever it is in your country. Bye bye.